Hey guys, welcome back to another Night Ring video, and what I have for you guys is a treat. It's a updated Guardian build, and as you know, my videos are uncut, unedited, one-shot deals, so I speak right off the cuff from experience and testing and all that stuff. And what I got for you guys today is an updated build on my Guardian video. I do play with a lot of randoms, so this build is catered to anyone who wants to be a tank, who wants to support your teammates when you're soloing with randoms. So and bossing, especially the front of the day 3 boss, whichever Night Lord you're facing. And as you can see, just for just to show you, I have this amount of hours on the game and 51 runs with Guardian. I swap between Guardian and Revenant. I really like Revenant, but Guardian is definitely my main. And I want to show you guys what I got for relics by the by the by the jar gambler. And I'm gonna preface this by saying I did not edit these relics. I did not cheat. I gambled, and if I got these rolls, you can get these rolls. Just takes a little bit of luck. So let's get right into it. So what we have here is we always go with the Witch's Brooch. You get this from the Remembrance quest. What I like about this is it gives two uh, class perks, I should say, that I think really helps a run. One, the biggest thing is reflect a portion of damage received when ability is activated. So your ability is when you block with the Guardian and you dodge, you go into Steel Guard. It gives you a more firm stance on guarding. And when they hit you, when the enemy hits you, a portion of that damage gets reflected back to them. It's really good because then you could guard counter and things like that. Um, Fill up your gauge when you have specific relics. Where you could fill up your ultimate art by guarding and things like that. And also slowly restores allies HP while art is active. I really like this. A lot of people don't like it where they'll just use the Guardian ult to res, and you can use that, but sometimes when it's a prolonged battle, especially a day 3 boss, a prolonged battle, everybody's out of flasks. Both of your teammates are dead, and you as a Guardian need to heal not only yourself if you're out of flasks, but your teammates as well. And the 5 seconds that you're holding down your ultimate after you plunge down, it'll res and it'll heal your teammates, and now you have a 3-man team fully health up, and you can finish killing off the boss. Listen, I just had a run where both of my teammates were down, 3 bars each to res them, and I just kept guarding against the boss until my ultimate was up, and I was able to res them both, heal everybody to full HP, and we finished the night aspect. So it was really clutch. And Vigor +3. You kind of want Vigor on all your relics, or at least 2 out of the 3 relics, because it does give a nice boost in health. But what I'm going to show you is if you don't get it on the other 2 relics, it's okay. So we're using the Guardian's Goblet because these are just the rolls I got for these relics. And for the second one, I think this is like the perfect roll. Draw enemy attention while guarding, where as long as you hold the block button or go into Steel Guard, you're gonna attract the boss or enemies around you, and they'll focus on you. Art gauge fills moderately upon critical hit. I did not realize how crazy this is, because it actually fills up the gauge pretty efficiently and substantially. Because when you guard counter, there is a possible chance to break the boss's stance or enemy stances, but mainly the boss's stance when you're still guarding and guard countering, and there goes your critical hit, and then you'll fill up your gauge even more. And then guard counter is given a boost based on current HP. This is really good too because your guard counters are gonna hit even harder when you're at max health. Um, Now, this also entails on how much health you have, which I'm going to show you a little demo of also. And then for the last one, it's 2 out of 3 because I don't have the third slot, but art gauge charge when successful guarding. So this is all just by holding your block button or going into steel guard blocking. And then stamina recovers with each successful attack. I really like this a lot. And if I had the best in slot, the third slot would be vigor plus 3. So let me just show you what I mean with the art gauge filling up fast and the guard counter based on current HP. So let's go into the dummy. Right. So we're gonna start at not level 1. We're gonna wait for our health to go down. All right. So we're gonna go into steel guard. Oh, I messed up. Hold on. Heal up. All right. So 205 altogether, and then look how fast the art gauge is going too. All right. So that was 205, right? So if we go to level 2, watch how much more damage this gets. 246, right? And then obviously if you're level 15, well, that's a bad one, but let's do a new one. I messed up again. Hold on. There we go. 426. So definitely, the guard counter is definitely hit really hard. And this is just base weapon, not upgraded at all. So imagine with a purple halberd. Now, let me just show you. Let me just use my R really quick and show you how much it fills up. Just drain it. All right. So the art gauge while blocking, you'll gain a little bit by blocking, but you know, honestly, it's better than nothing. I wish it was a little more, but hey, blocking and hitting, you'll fill up the art gauge, and also doing the critical hits. Look at that. So, top of that, then you're doing regular hits, you're filling up the art gauge. I don't like the fill up art gauge while defeating enemies. I mean, obviously it's good for the early game, right? You'll always have your ultimate up, but especially day 3 boss, day 2 boss, you're not killing enemies. So having that perk slot or relic affix, I don't see it useful in the long run because, especially when you're fighting the day 3 boss, you're going to be guarding most of the time and you might be doing some critical hits on the boss. So that's how you're going to fill your ultimate up. Guard counter given is given a boost based on current HP. You're going to hit a lot harder with your guard counters, right? And then I like the stamina recovers with each successful attack. Now, as you can see, I only have plus 3 vigor. So my starting health, right, is 340, right, with the vigor plus 3. If you guys, let me show you this relic. So this relic have 2 out of 3. Art gauge charge from successful guarding, draw enemy attention while guarding, but I have the vigor plus 2, the vigor plus 3 with these 2. I would say this is also good if you have these, to be more tankier. However, as you can see, I have 100 more HP. Now, I thought Vigor would scale a little bit better since he is S rank in Vigor. However, at level 15, and I can show you right now when we go to the sparring ground, you're at 1440, right? That's with these relics, right? Now, if I go back to my original build that I was showing you guys, right here, and I go back to the training ground, I have 1340. For some reason, I thought, it wouldn't just be I mean, what Vigor is doing is it's just a flat rate stat stick. It's not scaling off of your S rank and Vigor because that's scaling as you're leveling up. So 100 more health between 1340 and 1440, debatable. Um, debatable. So I don't see really a need. I mean, you can. I would say always try to get more health, right? But you know, I would say the two most important perks you want is or affix is draw enemy attention while guarding, and art gauge charge from successful guarding. Then it would be any art gauge charging type of affix, whether it's successful guarding or fills moderately upon critical hit. And then the third slot could be a flex. It could be stamina. It could be or poise. It could be vigor. Right. I like the guard counter is given a boost based on current HP. And honestly, if my starting weapon had poison, I think that would be even better. I would say, right? Because you're gonna be poking a lot, so you could do some status effects, whether that's frost, poison, bleed. Right. I have these relics. Let me show you this one. I have it where draw enemy attention while guarding, improve guard counter, starting armament, inflicts blood loss. Now I wish I could I wish we were able to reroll affixes, or change the color of these relics, but we can't. Um, and then I have here art gauge charge from successful guarding, vigor plus 2. Now defeating enemies restores HP for allies, but not for self. I tested this. I don't really like it because the HP your allies are gaining is so minuscule that I don't believe it's needed, especially during bosses. Like, this is not going to happen. So, it's good for the early game, I guess, but all in all, not worth. So, that's why I'm not using this anymore. And I got these two. Um, for those who don't know, I'll just explain steel guarding really quick. Where is it? All right. So steel guarding is you plant your feet and brace, with shield for a more powerful guard. So basically, you have your regular guard with the LB or L1, and then you just dodge, and now you're in steel guard and you're walking like this. I would say as you're finding any uh, any gear along the way, wraith stuff while walking or anything that procs while walking is really good for the guardian because you always want to be in this stance. All right, you always want to be in this stance. Other than that, I would say look for any of these halberds. I would say just stick with halberds or a spear, but halberds are more preferable. I might have passed it. No, I didn't. So you would want, golden halberd, dragon halberd. I like the commander's standard halberd because rallying standard gives a attack power buff to yourself and to allies, and a damage negation buff to you and allies. I also like the Gargoyle's Black Halberd, right? Anything like that. However, any of the bosses that you're fighting, always try to go with the weakness, right? Holy or poison, fire, lightning. I don't think there's a madness. I think I saw a madness spear one time, but I got that once out of all the games I've ever played. So yeah, I would say try to get the weapon weakness element for each of the bosses or whichever boss you're fighting for sure. If not, maybe you could find something where starting armament, you know, um, inflicts poison, frost, or bleed. Now, the Guardian is a little definitely relic heavy, which kind of sucks, but a beast when you get them up and running. Now, also, what you want to do when you're in the zone, when you're in the expedition, always, I would say, always upgrade. I would say just keep the Guardian Great Shield. I mean, it has no skill, so whatever weapon you have in your main hand, you're going to be able to do skills with it. So I would say your first priority is bringing this to purple right away. Um, I would say that should be. I know there's other better shields, I guess, but I don't think you really need. You get about 90 something guard boost with a fully maxed out starting shield. You could go for other shield. I would say stick to great shields. So you could get like the fingerprint stone shield if that drops. I would say go with that. Shield batch is pretty good. The jellyfish shield is pretty good, which I also never gotten before. Dragon Claw shield is pretty good. So shield batch is a pretty good one. Anything that has no skill is pretty good as well. But honestly, if you find no good shields, you could just upgrade your starting shield to purple and you'll be fine. I mean, it's been I've carried with it plenty of times before. So that's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoy. I hope you guys got something out of it. I'll see you guys in the next one.